Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Bagley College of Engineering Academic Insight for 2017. I'm James Warnock. I'm the Associate Dean for the College of Engineering. And this is the point where I tell you all the great things that are going on in the college, but I feel like my job has already been done by all these great videos, so I'm just going to leave now. I'm kidding. But no, there really are some great things going on in the College of Engineering at the moment, as you just saw. But when you're trying to make your decision whether or not to come here and study for the next 4 years to become an engineer and be a student here, there are some things that are important to know. And one of the things that I really want to stress to you is that we're interested in our students being successful. And by success, I mean we want you to be able to complete your engineering degree. And once you've completed your engineering degree, we want you to be able to go out into the workforce and be a professional engineer and work with some of the top engineering companies in the world. So there are a number of things that we do for our students while you're here during that time. One of the things is that we encourage our students to get involved in faculty-led research. You saw a lot of the cutting-edge research that's being done, but we really want students to be involved, to have that opportunity to work with the faculty, to be in the lab, to be mentored by the faculty, and so that you learn a host of skills that will help you to be successful as a professional. And we have faculty working in many cutting-edge areas, and we have faculty working in sustainable energy systems. We have faculty that work in automotive engineering. We have faculty that work with clean water resources. We have faculty working with cybersecurity and cyber infrastructure. So there are a lot of opportunities for you to get involved with undergraduate research. We also understand that we now live in a global marketplace. We realize that engineering companies are no longer constrained to just functioning in the state of Mississippi or in the US. They're global commodities, and they have operations throughout the entire world. And Mississippi State University really is an internationalized campus. And the College of Engineering is at the forefront of internationalizing our curricula. So we have many programs that students can participate in to get international experience. We have the Engineers Without Borders program, where students go to Africa and they help build wells to provide clean water for villages in Zambia. We have study abroad programs for students to study technical writing in Munich, Germany. We have summer programs for students to study engineering economy in France. Recently, we entered into an agreement with the Universitat Internacional de Rabat in Morocco. We had a delegation from Mississippi State visit Morocco at the end of last year, and we have joint programs with them in automotive engineering and aerospace engineering. And so far, we've had almost 50 students from Morocco come and study here. I personally spend some of my time traveling. It's a hard life, I know. But last year, I went to Rome, where we have partnerships with 2 different universities in Rome. I went to Turin, Italy, where we have an ongoing partnership. I visited Germany, I visited France, I visited Spain, and I'm doing it all for you guys, so that you have opportunities for these international research programs and study abroad programs, because we want our students to have that experience, that international experience, to help you be successful. We also think it's important for students to learn through experience. And so we have one of the best and one of the strongest co-op and internship programs in the Southeast. We have about 65% of engineering students that participate in a co-op. And a co-op is where you spend 3 semesters working for a company. So you'll spend 1 semester at school, then 1 semester with a company, and then you come back to school for a semester, and you alternate like that. So at the end of your studies, when you graduate, you have 1 year's worth of experience with an engineering company. That means that employers have an opportunity to see what our students are capable of. It gives our students the opportunity to experience firsthand what it's like to be an engineer. And there are a host of other opportunities that students get as a result of that. You know, one of the things that points to the success of our students is how they do after they graduate. We have over 270 engineering companies that come to campus every year to recruit engineering students. That's not just university students, that's just in engineering. Every semester we have a career fair that's held at the Humphrey Coliseum. They have one day dedicated just to engineering companies, and then they have a second day for companies from other colleges and majors around the university. The students that we graduate from Mississippi State are in high demand by some of the top engineering companies in the world. I have a list, actually literally have a list of engineering companies that recruit our students, but the list is too long for me to read out all the names that are on there. But there are some big names on there. We have students go and work for Chevron. We have students go and work for Boeing. We have students go and work for Intel. You know, you name it, there are engineering companies out there that are hiring our students. So this really is a great place for you to come and study. Now, in a moment, I'm going to ask Mr. Robert Green to come up and talk to you a little bit more about the college. He's our undergraduate coordinator. But before I do that, this morning we had an event similar to this, and I sent out a tweet of the audience showing how many people we had here. I want to do something a little bit different this afternoon. So if you are a student, Corey, if we could raise the house lights a little bit. If you're a student thinking about coming here to study in the fall, I want you to stand up now and make your way to the stage, and we're going to take a selfie. Now, if this backfires, it's going to be a selfie of me with two other people. And this is going to cause complete chaos now. And I'm also going to ask Sarah Fuller to come to the stage as well, who's our keynote speaker. All right, so we'll try and get as many people as we can on the stage. I don't think we're going to be able to get everyone. Obviously, I didn't think this through too well because I thought I'd get might be 5 people up here. I don't know what the capacity is for the number of people on the stage, but I've probably just broken all kinds of rules and laws. All right, if you're still coming in at the back, I think we may have maxed out, but let's actually, you know what I'm going to do? Philip, can you, or I'm going to delegate the photo taking.
But I mean, we're in the selfie in spirit.
Is Sarah up here? Okay. Sarah's here as well. So this is going to be our keynote speaker for today. All right, everybody say cheese. All right, did we get it? Okay. All right, you can go and sit down now, okay? So technically, it's not a selfie. All right, so now we're going to tweet this. So we'll say the fall 2017 MSU Engineering freshman class with Sarah Fuller. Okay. Hashtag Hail State. All right, I'm going to tweet this. This morning, when I tweeted, we had 17 retweets and 24 likes. Let's see if you guys can do better. At Dr. James Warnock. Search for that, or MSU Engineering, or hashtag Hail State. Let's see if we can do that. And I'm trying to get as many followers as possible. This morning, I had 23 followers because I'm that cool. Now I have 42 followers, so I doubled. So let's see if we can double it again this afternoon, okay? And while you're all doing that and distracted by your phones, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Robert Green.
I don't like being upstaged by @Dr. James Warnock, because @Robert_A_Green was tweeting before I came up here about what a great job he was doing filling in for @MSU_Bagley Dean. So he's got 40 followers, I've got 300. So. But he has thrown down the gauntlet. So. Well, welcome. We hope you have a good afternoon planned for you this afternoon. I hope you've had a good morning so far. A few things out. We're going to have you here for a little while, less than a movie. But if anything should happen, these doors on the sides will exit right outside, so you're safe to run out that way to get away from whatever panic ensues. Restrooms are out in the hall, so you can go out the back doors there as well. We'll just sort of play this by ear, and as we get going, if we finish early, we finish early, but Dr. Warnock and I both like to talk a long time, so we probably won't do that. Welcome. What we're going to do in a few minutes is we're going to have Sarah Fuller come tell you her experiences of being a student here and what that education has done for her professionally. We're then going to have a panel discussion. We're going to bring in 3 students along with Dr. Warnock and me to sort of give you our perspective, answer your questions, and we try to let the students answer most of the questions. And we had a really good panel discussion this morning, so I'm sure we will this afternoon as well. After that, we're going to let you go to a department of your choice within engineering for a departmental tour and to learn more about that department. And I really don't care whether you go to the department you've been admitted to or not. So if you've been admitted to one department but are still thinking about another major, feel free to go with that major. We're fine with that. But those majors are, and we're going to dismiss by department when we get there, those majors are aerospace engineering, a really good program in there. We have biological engineering, and this fall we are starting a biomedical engineering program. And that's a lot of students are interested in pre-med. We'll go that route. We also have chemical engineering in our Swamps School of Chemical Engineering. And then a year or so ago, we added petroleum engineering back to our curriculum, back to our college. And it is also housed in chemical engineering. So we'll dismiss chemical and petroleum engineering together. We have computer science. They also have another program, software engineering, and we'll dismiss those 2 together. We also have electrical engineering, and we have computer engineering, so those will go out together. We then have Sarah's major, industrial engineering, industrial and systems engineering, and we have civil engineering, civil and environmental engineering, and then we have mechanical engineering. Now, did I get all of those? Did everybody count 12? Nobody was counting, so I got 12. Okay. The dean and I were talking this morning. He said, I was impressed you did those alphabetically, because he said he usually goes around geographically from building around campus to make sure you don't forget anybody. But anyway, glad you're here. What we want you to do today is leave confident that you have either made the right decision that you've already made to come to school at Mississippi State, or be confident in the decision you will be making this afternoon to come to school here. And if any of you leave and are still thinking about going somewhere else, we need to have a talk. But seriously, we know a lot of you are still looking at schools, and that's what we want you to see what we have to offer here. And I think you saw some of that in the videos. One of the questions I often get, particularly from high school students and younger, is what do engineers do? Because we're always told, well, and your teachers are the ones who typically tell you this, well, you're good in math, you need to major in engineering. I hate math. I minored in math in grad school, and I still hate math. So if they had told me that, I probably would never have been an engineer. But I think what you saw in the videos is what engineers do is we solve problems, we make the world a better, healthier, safer, more enjoyable place to live. We give clean water to people, we help grow crops, we make cars that are more fuel efficient and safer, we have high performance computing that has really opened everything. I mean, we all have our smartphones with us today. I mean, where would we be without those? Probably a much kinder, gentler society, but I'm afraid that ship has sailed. So we do have that. In addition to all of those minors, those majors that we do have some minors, and you can minor in just about anything you want to at the college or at the university. Now, within the College of Engineering, we only limit those to industrial engineering and computer science. And a lot of those are just too difficult to do a minor in those. But we do have our Global Engineering Leadership minor, which is a wonderful opportunity to demonstrate you have leadership capabilities and knowledge and experiences that a global company would be interested in hiring you and promoting you up eventually to a leadership position. The university has a leadership studies minor program available, and then a lot of students will just minor in other things of interest to them. I was dealing with a student the other day who's thinking about biological or chemical engineering, maybe minoring in biology. So we can work out things like that. Sarah's major, industrial engineering, a lot of them end up with a math minor because there's so much math in engineering anyway. Industrial engineering. Right. So just a couple of other courses that in industrial you can get a math minor, so that's fairly common. In addition to the math minors, we do have some certificate programs. Think of those as being a little less than a minor in terms of number of hours required. And they also demonstrate a little more expertise in something. One of our popular ones is our engineering entrepreneurship. So if you're thinking about going into business for yourself, this is a great major, a great certificate to get involved in. You take some business, marketing, entrepreneurship courses, which oftentimes will satisfy some prerequisites for an MBA degree if you want to go get an MBA after you graduate. And then we have our various ones in information security. We have automotive certificate and several others. You saw a lot of our computer stuff up there. We are known for our expertise and our knowledge in cybersecurity. The National Security Agency has recognized us as a center of excellence in both education and research in cybersecurity, which is critical for all of us, and not just protecting our computers, but all of our infrastructure from the power grid to our water pumps. So we're doing a lot of that sort of work, solving problems, making the world safer. But in order to do that, you've got to graduate. Okay? It is not our goal for any of you to say you attended Mississippi State. We want you all to say you graduated from Mississippi State. And to do that, we have several things in place. Dr. Warnock mentioned some of those. Our Engineering Living Learning Community is one where you have an opportunity to live with similar students, like majors. We have mentors who work there. These are upperclassmen in engineering who will work with you, talk to you, sort of show you the ropes of what is involved. As faculty members, we have to tell you when you're signing up for a class, all of our faculty are wonderful people. It doesn't matter who you get. Okay? Your mentors can say, yeah, that's the person you really want, though. Okay? So another reason for them to do that. We also have our Engineering First Year Experience Program through which we offer some tutoring and other assistance to students. We actually have engineering students sitting in calculus, chemistry, computer science, physics classes that freshman year. So they not only know the material, but they know where you are in that class. Should you have any trouble, they can help you with that. In addition to that, many of our other colleges and departments on campus offer other help. The math department has some tutoring available. The English department has a writing center that students can go to, not just for your English classes. I'm teaching an engineering class, and I'm sending my students over there to get help with some papers they need to write. So a lot of opportunities to help you be successful. We just need to know you need the help. So I encourage you all to speak up and let us know. We probably have something out there to help you. We also have some wonderful student organizations. I hope you got to see some of those today over on the second floor. If you did not get to see all of them, don't worry. One of the things we do each fall after you come in, we let you get settled down. We bribe you with pizza to come to a new student organization fair. And this is something we will hold at night, typically over in one of our Living Learning community residence halls. And we invite all new freshmen and new transfer students to come to that event. And we have our student organizations with the student leadership present to talk about what their groups do. And it's an opportunity to find out more about them and even sign up for them if you want to. You really need to have that balance of academic and social and organizational involvement to be well-rounded. So this is a great way to get started with that. We have a wonderful co-op program. More of that will come out in our panel discussion. And we really are here to help you be successful. We get a lot of questions about the difficulty of engineering, and I don't know how difficult it is. Sometimes you say yes, sometimes not. It's really up to you, you know. You may find it very easy. But one thing is, well, why does it take so long to graduate in engineering? And one of the things I want to talk to you about, you do not need to have this idea it's going to take you 7 years to get an engineering degree. Okay, we require 128 hours to earn a degree in engineering. Now, some of you parents out there who have engineering degrees know when we were in school it was a little more than that. So we've actually decreased the number somewhat. If you divide 128 by 8 semesters, that's 16 hours a semester. Now, in Mississippi, if you are receiving MTAG or MESG, some state aid, they now require that you take 15 hours a semester in order to get that aid for the next semester. Okay, so if you do that 16 a semester, you really should be able to get a degree in 4 years. But I don't want you thinking about that. Okay, I always like to say we're not Walmart where you just want to go buy some stuff and check out and you're done. You're here to get an education and get an educational experience, and that is much more than sitting in the classroom. So we do have co-op opportunities, study abroad, congressional internships, various other opportunities for you to take advantage of that's going to make you more attractive to a potential employer, help you promote faster within that company, and make you a better engineer and a better system, a better citizen. So we really want you to not get in a hurry to get out of here. Not to say that we want you to stay too long, but we do like most of you, so you're welcome to hang around. And I think when we get to our panel discussion, a lot of that will come out as well, and some of the opportunities they've taken advantage of. So we'll hear from current students in a little while. Now I want you to hear from one of our former students and engineer, Sarah Fuller. Sarah came here a while back, earned her degree in industrial engineering in 2006, was one of our first congressional interns, went to Washington for a semester and got some good experiences out of that, and has been working in a couple of positions ever since. So I'm going to let her tell you sort of why she came here and what she's done since. Sarah.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Hi, welcome. So glad everybody made it this afternoon. I know y'all have had lunch, and I hope you're not dozing off, but I do not have Twitter. I do not have a Twitter handle that you need to try to follow, so just stick with the other two you've already got. I graduated in Industrial and Systems Engineering in 2006 from Mississippi State. I did not start as a Mississippi State student. I am originally from Mandeville, Louisiana, which is right outside of New Orleans. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what I wanted to major in. I, one point, thought I wanted to be an emergency room doctor. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a psychologist. The list pretty much goes on and on. So I did my college visits like every good senior does, and went to LSU because in Louisiana, that's part of the rite of passage. Everybody visits LSU. Visited Ole Miss. My mother went to Ole Miss. Visited USM. My father went to USM and visited Mississippi State, among others. I really wanted to go out of state. My mother's only requirement was that it must be an SEC school for athletic purposes. That was the way to go. So again, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I had scholarships, but I knew there were certain requirements, and I knew you had to be, enrolled in that major, obviously. And I thought, well, if I change my mind, I'm going to lose my scholarship. And so I kind of panicked, and I went to LSU. Louisiana had free tuition if you had a certain GPA or ACT score. So that's what I did. It was good, but I did not, just bleed purple and gold. LSU was big. LSU was very confusing. They were not real concerned with making sure everybody felt at home and felt comfortable and was well adjusted. But it was good. And then I guess my second year, I came to the LSU Mississippi State football game with a roommate, and LSU was decent, Mississippi State was not, so it was not much of a game, but we did get to spend some time in Starkville, and I had some cousins that were here, and I decided, you know, I really like it. I like Starkville, I like the people, everybody was very welcoming, very nice, and I thought, well, I want to see about transferring. So I started looking into what my options were, and I realized there is a domestic exchange program between lots of U.S. institutions, and both LSU and Mississippi State were a part of that. So I could spend a year in school in Starkville, but still have my Louisiana, my LSU scholarship, tuition, in-state tuition paid, and everything like that. So I thought, well, you know, that's a good way to test it out and see if I like it. So I came to that football game, got enrolled, I started in January. It was a little bit of a difference of environment. December in Baton Rouge is very different, or January in Baton Rouge is very different than January in North Mississippi, especially from somebody from New Orleans. But I enjoyed it and started classes. My first class was a statistics class, and I do have my math minor. I somewhat like math, but statistics was not something I really enjoyed. But I sat, it was a big stadium seating, kind of similar to this, and there's probably about 125 people, and I sat down kind of halfway up, and about the middle, and I thought, I need to pay attention, I don't know anybody, this is gonna be a good way to kind of get involved. And, excuse me. The professor was an older guy. I didn't know him from Adam. I just thought he was a statistics professor. And he walks in, and he's kind of looking at everybody, and he looks at me, and he says, "I don't know you." And I said, "Well, no, I'm new. I just started this semester." He said, "Well, what's your major?" I said, "Industrial engineering." He said, "No, I don't think so. I don't know you." And I said, "Yes, no, I'm new." And he says, "Okay, well, why don't you come by my office?" And I thought, I don't know, that's a little odd. This, older guy is saying for me to come to his office. No, my mother would not be happy. I'm not doing that. So I just kind of blew it off, and I made sure to sit further back the next few classes. And he found me, and he said, "Sarah, you didn't come to my office." I said, "I've just been busy. I'm sorry." He said, "Well, you really need to come." I thought, what is the deal with this guy? He is relentless. So I decided to look him up. He's the Industrial and Systems Engineering Department head. I thought, well, maybe I need to go to his office and see what this is about. So I show up, and he's, glad to see me, and really took an interest in getting to know me, getting to know my family, wanted to know where I was from, wanted to make sure I was settling in okay, just super nice, caring, wanted to help out however he could. And for a department head, I figured he's got better things to worry about, but that was his main concern. That's what he wanted, to make sure everything was okay. And that's pretty consistent across all of the colleges and across all of the engineering departments. They want to make sure you're okay, want to make sure that you're happy, you're settled, and they can do anything for you. So I guess I did another year. I decided to officially transfer. So I was a Mississippi State student. And Dr. Brown again says, "Sarah, I need to talk to you. I think I have a really good opportunity that you would be interested in." I said, "Okay, well, what is it?" He says, "I want you to go to Washington, D.C. I thought, I don't know about that. What's in Washington? So he proceeds to tell me about the congressional internship that the College of Engineering offers, and it's open to any engineering major. You go to Washington, D.C. for an entire semester, not during the summer, during a regular semester. You live in a house with 12 strangers. You work for a senator's office. You could do things from, sometimes you might be filing papers, sometimes you're leading Capitol tours, sometimes you're sitting in meetings. It's a pretty broad range of everything that you can do, and it's a really great experience." And I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. It's a semester off of school, but okay, why not? Turns out It's a paid internship, which is a bonus. They pay for your housing while you're in DC, which was also a bonus. So I applied, got accepted, and I went, and it was wonderful. Everything was great. I moved into a house. I had 12 roommates. It was not a big house, but we enjoyed it. We had great experiences. We met some people that, just over the course of 10 years have been great influences, have been great mentors, and all of that through the College of Engineering. So I came back to school. I finished one more year, graduated, and took a job back in Washington, D.C., working for a small consulting firm for the Navy. Excuse me. We did cost analysis. We did systems engineering. We did Lean Six Sigma deployment. With the government, budgets are always cut. Requirements are always expanded. How do you do more with less? Well, that's where the industrial engineering experience comes in. We were able to streamline processes, take shipbuilding timelines from 14 months to 11 months. So it was really, really interesting. Along that time, I had our first child, and that was interesting. DC is very expensive, if anybody has ever lived there. And we quickly realized that we were working a lot more and wanted to come home. So my husband is from here, Starkville. I'm from New Orleans, so anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon is closer to home. So we did that. I guess we moved back probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And I started working for a small company named Camgian Microsystems. It's here in the Research Park, which is across the street from the university, and a lot of engineering students actually do go work over there for CAVS, which is the Center for Advanced Vehicular Systems, or several of the other tech firms that are over there. With that company, like I said, it was a very small company. I started their production system. I was able to put everything in place from them. They were a group of engineers that were kind of ad hocly building things, and no systems, no processes. So I helped them get all of that set up, and that eventually led into working as their product manager. So I would meet with customers, meet with the market, do market research, figure out what is it that needs to be the next big thing. Excuse me. Sorry, strep is going around like crazy, so excuse me. But once I did the product management thing, I really enjoyed it. Industrial engineering helped me be able to do that, be able to understand the engineering side, the technical side, but as well be able to relate that into processes and figure out how to do it, how to build whatever all those requirements were. So I did that, and then I guess about 18 months ago, I started working for the university. I work for CAVS Extension, which is the Center for Advanced Vehicular Systems Extension. We are based down in Canton, but I'm here in Starkville. And I work with local companies to do field projects, to help them set up assembly lines. We do simulation projects. We do any number of economic development type activities. Anything we can do to help bolster Mississippi manufacturers. When I was in school, manufacturing was not what I wanted to do. I didn't see myself in a factory. I didn't see myself in the middle of that. But, and I'm not, but I have the experience. I am able to go out onto a factory floor and speak the language and understand what they're talking about. Excuse me. And all of that is based on my education that I got here at Mississippi State. We teach classes. We teach a lot of professional development classes, so we can help bolster Mississippi's economy by having employees at Nissan or any number of other companies come, get educated, be able to do their jobs a little bit better. That's where I am now. That is it's been great. It's been wonderful, and the College of Engineering really helped me get to where I am. When I was a senior in high school and trying to figure out, I don't know what I want to do. How am I expected to make this decision without having any idea? There's so many options. I mean, there's every choice under the sun. What do you do? Like any good analytical mind, I start looking through the curriculum and I realize that engineers at this point didn't have to take a foreign language. Sold. That's what I decided. That's how I chose engineering, and if you have to take a foreign language now, I'm sorry. Good luck. I could not do it. But math, I did that. I have a math minor. I have an economics minor. So, you know, with Mississippi State, you can do anything. There's a lot of different choices, and I hope you guys are feeling more comfortable with your choice to come here, and it's worked out pretty well for me. So, does anybody have any questions or anything? Be happy to answer anything. Nope. You can save all your questions for the panel discussion. I'm sure they will be happy to answer anything. Thank you all.
Thanks, Sarah. She and I were talking at lunch, and we both came to engineering for the same reason. I started as a chemistry major, and at the time, the College of Arts and Sciences required all majors to have a foreign language. Chemistry said since it has to be in foreign language, it needs to be something the chemistry literature is written in, so you have your choice of German or Russian. I was smart enough to realize at least German had the same alphabet. I love German, it did not love me, and I fell in love with engineering. So thanks, Sarah. And Sarah is a good example of how when a student takes the initiative and gets to know the faculty members and the staff around here, how we keep in touch with them. I kept in touch with Sarah long after she graduated, met her, we reconnected shortly after she moved back to Starkville, and we still see each other probably once or twice a month at Starbucks. So. That's right, yeah. So what we want to do now is have our panel discussion. So if we could just take a couple of minutes, stand up where you are, stretch, relax. We'll get the students down here, get the table set up, and move into the panel discussion. And then after that, we'll go right into the departmental tours.